So Pyrgos spoke, and yet at first the matrons, though looking at the ships maliciously, were doubtful, hesitant between two wretched loves, one that held them to their present land, the other to the land where fate had called them. But then the goddess, poised upon her wings, rose high across the sky, and in her flight she cut a giant bow beneath the clouds. And now, indeed, stunned by this prodigy and driven mad, the matrons shout, and some snatch fire from the inner hearths, and others strip down the altars, flinging leaves and branches and firebrands across the oars and benches and painted pine holes. Vulcan, ruthless, rages. Aeneas now brings back to Anchises' tomb and to the crowded theatre the news of burning Trojan ships. It is enough to turn and see black ashes in a cloud. And first Ascanius, just as he was, glad, leading on his ranging horsemen, spurred his eager stallion toward the panicked camp. His breathless guardians cannot hold him back. What strange madness is this? Where now? Where to? He cries. O wretched women! It is not the enemy, the Argives' hostile camp. It is your hopes you burn. Look, I am your Ascanius. And at his feet he cast the empty helmet that had been his headdress when he had played at miming war. Aeneas has also hurried here with Trojan squadrons. But terrified, the Dardan women scatter this way and that along the shore. In stealth they search for any woods and hollow rocks. They hate what they have done. They shun the light. Now changed, they recognize their countrymen, and Juno has been shaken from their hearts. Yet not for that did flame and conflagration relax their tameless force. Alive, the tow still burns beneath the soggy timbers, belches its lazy smoke, slow heat consumes the keels, the plague sinks into all that frame. The strength of heroes, streams of water cannot help. When he saw this, pious Aeneas tore the mantle from his shoulders. Stretching out his hands, he called upon the gods for help. All-able Jupiter, if you do not detest the Trojans down to their last man, if your old kindness still has care for human trials, Father, let this fleet escape the flames and snatch away the Teucrians' thin fortunes from ruin. Or, if I deserve it, let your hating thunderbolts send down to death the little that is left. Let your right hand annihilate us here. He had just said this when pouring rains, a lawless, furious, dark tempest, rage across the hills and plains that tremble with the thunder. All the heavens let fall a murky storm of water, black with heavy south winds. From above the ships are filled charred timbers soaked, until the heat and smoke are spent, and all the hulls, except 4 lost, are rescued from that pestilence. But, battered by this bitter crisis, Father Aeneas now was mulling mighty cares this way and that within his breast. Whether to settle in the fields of Sicily, forgetful of the fates, or else to try for the Italian coast. Then aged Nautes, to whom especially Tritonian Pallas had taught, and brought him fame for his great art, how to explain the meaning of the gods' great wrath, or what the scheme of fate has asked, consoles Aeneas, saying this to him: O goddess born, there where the fates would have us go forward or withdraw, there let us follow. Whatever comes, all fortune must be won by our endurance. Like yourself, the Dardan Acestes is a son of gods. Take him as comrade in your counsels, as a willing friend, and to him entrust those who have lost their ships and are superfluous, and choose those who are tired of your vast attempt and of your fortunes, and the old men spent with years, and women weary of the sea, and all who are weak and fear new dangers. Let the weary have their walls within these lands. If you consent, their town's name is Akista.